Mystical Space Typhoon. Card type, spell, property, quick play. Target one spell or trap on the field. Destroy that target. Card trivia, Mystical Space Typhoon. This card has several weaker and/or altered counterparts. Mystical Wind Typhoon, Tornado, Gust, Twister, Dust Tornado, Wild Tornado, Chain Whirlwind, Double Cyclone, Typhoon, Cosmic Cyclone, Galaxy Cyclone, Twin Twisters, Dicefoon, Space Cyclone, the anime-exclusive Psychic Cyclone, and the manga-exclusive Sonic Cyclone. This card also has a Speed Spell counterpart, Speed Spell Mystical Space Typhoon. Many players joke about MST negates due to beginners often mistakenly believing that destroying a card negates its effects, and thus that this card can be chained to an activated spell or trap card to negate its effect. Many years later, a card named Blizzard, very similar to Mystical Space Typhoon both conceptually and technically, was released, and is actually able to negate the affected card, although it can only target spells and not traps. This was the first spell card ever to be released as Ghost Rare. Additionally, counting both the OCG and TCG, this card has been printed in every rarity besides Holographic Rare. This card's initials, MST, are the same as those of the three card types in the game: Monster, Spell, and Trap. This is one of the few cards that are known by two different names in the Spanish TCG, along with Twin-Headed Behemoth and Blackwing Armed Wing. Prior to Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, this was one of only three cards to have appeared in all Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series, along with Mirror Force and Polymerization. Of the three, this card and Polymerization have also appeared in every Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie. Card appearances: Mystical Space Typhoon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Virtual World. In episode 102, Taya Gardner uses this card during her duel against Crump. She uses this card to destroy Crump's set Gust, Mirror Wall in the dub. However, this allows Crump to activate Driving Snow, which destroys Taya's set Mirror Force. Waking the Dragons. In episode 174, Yami-Yugi uses this card during his duel against Raphael. He uses this card to destroy Raphael's Gravity Axe Grarl, which decreases the attack of Guardian Grarl to 1000, as Yami-Yugi had previously activated the effect of Kuribu to decrease the attack of Guardian Grarl by 1500 until the end phase. In the next episode, Yami-Yugi activates the effect of Amulet Dragon to banish all spell cards from his graveyard and increase its attack by 300 for each spell card banished this way. In episode 179, Yami-Yugi uses this card during his tag duel of Seto Kaiba against Darts. He uses this card to destroy Darts' twin bow Centaur. Grand Championship. In episode 189, Vivian Wong uses this card during her duel against Rebecca Hawkins. She activates this card to destroy Rebecca's Gravity Bind, but Rebecca activates Imperial Order to negate this card's effects. This card is also seen in Yugi's explanation on how chaining works, because Scapegoat was activated after Imperial Order was activated. Yugi's friends were confused on why Scapegoat wasn't destroyed when it was activated, leaving Yugi to explain how chains resolve. In episode 194, Siegfried von Schroeder uses this card during his duel against Seto Kaiba. He uses this card to destroy Seto Kaiba's soul absorption. In episode 197, Leon von Schroeder uses this card during his duel against Yami-Yugi. He uses this card to destroy his own Golden Castle of Stromberg, as he found out that the latter card was an illegal card that his brother made legal through tampering. It didn't work, as Golden Castle of Stromberg could not be destroyed by card effects other than its own. Dawn of the Duel. In episode 200, this card appears within Kaiba's briefcase when he opens it up and takes his duel disc with him. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Anime. In episode 8, Zane Truesdale uses this card during his duel against Jaden Yuki. He uses this card to destroy Jaden's set card. In episode 10, Cyrus Truesdale uses this card during his tag duel with Jaden against Para and Dox. He activates this card to destroy Dox's Fairy Meteor Crush, but Para activates Judgment of Anubis to negate this card's effect and destroy it. After that resolves, Judgment of Anubis destroys elemental hero Rampart Blaster and inflicts the latter's attack as damage to Jaden and Cyrus. In episode 12, this card is shown as one of the many cards belonging to Bastion Misawa that were thrown in the water by Chaz Princeton. This card also appears in a flashback Alexis Rhodes has when she tells Chaz that she saw him throw Bastion's cards into the water. This card is shown as one of the many cards that Alexis saw in the water. In episode 20, this card appears when Blair Flanagan drops Zane's deck. In episode 30, Night Shroud uses this card during his duel against Jaden. He uses this card to destroy Jaden's fusion gate, so that Jaden could not use the effect of Elemental Hero Tempest to prevent itself from being destroyed by battle. In episode 66, this card appears in a flashback Jaden has when he sees Wheeler as Zane, which makes Jaden remember his first duel against Zane. In episode 68, Aster Phoenix uses this card during his duel against Jaden. He uses this card to destroy Jaden's Common Soul. This returns Neospatian Flare Scarab to Jaden's hand due to the effect of Common Soul and decreases the attack of Elemental Hero Bubbleman to its original value. In episode 70, Chaz uses this card during his duel against Alexis. He uses this card to destroy Alexis's set Hallowed Life Barrier. In episode 71, Lorenzo moves this card to the top of his deck via stage select during his duel against Jaden. Lorenzo intended to use this card to destroy his own boss rush so that he could normal summon again. Lorenzo does not get the chance to draw or activate this card as Jaden defeats him beforehand. In episode 82, this card is seen in Bastion's hand during his duel against Chaz. Bastion later sets this card, but did not activate it. This card remained on the field until the duel was over. In episode 84, this card is seen in a raw yellow student's hand during his duel against Tyranno Hasselberry. In episode 94, Alexis uses this card during her duel against Jaden. She uses this card to destroy Jaden's Armor Breaker, who was equipped onto Spell Striker through its own effects. In episode 96, Dr. Eisenstein uses this card during his duel against Jaden. He uses this card to destroy Jaden's Bubble Blaster, which returns the attack of Elemental Hero Bubbleman to its original value. In episode 144, Aster uses this card during his duel against Adrian Gecko. He uses this card to destroy his own Clock Tower prison. Since the latter had 4 clock counters when it was destroyed, its final effect activates, letting Aster special summon Destiny Hero Dreadmaster. In episode 153, Bell uses this card during her duel against Jaden. She banishes this card, Zero Sprite, Fiend Rose, Super Polymerization, and Grinder Golem from her deck from play via the first effect of Spell Chronicle. Later, Bell activates the third effect of Spell Chronicle to make Jaden select one of the 5 cards banished by Spell Chronicle. Jaden selects Zero Sprite, so the latter is added to Bell's hand. In the next episode, Bell activates the third effect of Spell Chronicle to make Jaden select one of the 4 remaining cards banished by Spell Chronicle. Jaden selects Fiend Rose, so the latter is added to Bell's hand. In the following episode, Bell removes 2 Chronicle counters on this card to make Jaden select one of the 3 remaining cards banished by Spell Chronicle. Jaden selects this card, so the latter is added to Bell's hand. Jaden then activates Bell then activates this card to destroy Rainbow Veil. In episode 157, this card can be seen among the many defective card stacks stored in suitcases after Alexis, Chaz, Cyrus, and Hasselberry gather them up. In episode 161, Alexis sets this card during her tag duel with Jaden against 2 Obelisk Blue students, intending for Jaden to use this card to destroy Mistbody so that Stone Statue of the Aztecs would not be invincible from destruction by battle. Jaden, however, does not use this card at all during his turn and instead uses a strategy of his own to win the duel. In episode 162, Alexis uses this card during her tag duel of Jaden against Hasselberry and Blair Flanagan. At this point, Blair and Alexis have switched sides due to partner change. After seeing Jaden having fun in a duel like he used to, Alexis activates this card to destroy Blair's partner change and switch the tag duel's partners back to the original setup, much to Blair's shock and anger since she wanted to be with Jaden. In episode 164, during Cyrus's duel against Makoto, Cyrus banishes this card, Cyberdark Edge, Cyberdark Horn, Cyberdark Keel, and Polymerization from the top of his deck via Remove Bomb. This card appears in the GX Japanese closing song. Borderline Battle. Manga. In Chapter 9, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Jaden Yuki plays this card, destroying Cyrus Truesdale's transformation, but Cyrus activates the effect of Carrieroid, discarding a card to banish transformation from play for 2 turns, but retaining its effect. In Chapter 13, Koyo Hibiki plays this card, destroying Jaden's Skyscraper, before Jaden could use Skyscraper and Elemental Hero Clayman to destroy Koyo's Elemental Hero Ocean. In Chapter 22, Bastian Misawa plays this card, destroying Reggie Mackenzie's Angel's Ring. In Chapter 36, Midori Hibiki plays this card, destroying Reggie's Valhalla Hall of the Fallen. In Chapter 41, this card can be seen in Reggie's hand. She discards it along with Angel Bow and Heaven's Lost Property in the next chapter. In Chapter 64, Jaden plays this card against Tragodia while teaming with Chaz Princeton. He draws it via the effect of Ma'at and uses it to destroy Tragodia's Ebon's son. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. In episode 10, Mr. Armstrong uses this card during his ground duel against Yusei Fudo. He uses this card to destroy the set card on the left of Yusei's side of the field, as he believes it to be Battle Mania, due to the security cameras spying on Yusei's cards and his guards feeding him the information. However, Taunt is destroyed instead. Yusei then reveals that he switched the locations of his set cards when the power briefly went out. This card is shown in a flashback Yusei has when he tells Armstrong that when he learned the information from the security cameras were wrong, he should have been careful. In episode 29 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, during Tetsuo Trudge's ground duel against Jack Atlas, while the former was a shadow drone and the latter had insistence from Carly Carmine. This card appears at the bottom of Trudge's deck when he uses Dark Diviner to attack Strong Wind Dragon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. In episode 10, Shark uses this card during his duel against Yuma Tsukumo. He uses this card to destroy Yuma's face-down battle break. In episode 21, this card is shown when Lilybot spits out cards that are part of her deck and places them in her D-pad. In episode 26, this card is shown when Caswell Francis is rebuilding his deck for the upcoming World Duel Carnival. 3 copies of this card also appears on Striker Crosset's soccer ball made of Duel Monsters cards. In episode 27, 3 copies of this card appears on Striker's soccer ball. In episode 31, this card is also shown as one of the many cards Charlie McKay stole through the power of number 7 Lucky Straight. In episode 46, this card is dropped by an unknown person that Shark defeats. In episode 81, this card is used as part of the Hayu Kunin Issue Field event in the Friendship Games. This was cut from the dub. Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. In episode 1, this card appears in an advertisement for Leo Institute of Dueling featuring the Sledgehammer. In episode 7, Yuto sets this card, but it is destroyed by the effect of Silvio's Mobius, the Mega Monarch. In episode 18, this card can be seen in Zuzu's deck while she is looking through it. In episode 37, this card can be seen in Yugo's deck. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Movie, Pyramid of Light. Seto Kaiba uses this card during his duel against Yami Yugi. He uses this card to destroy Yami Yugi's set Mirror Force. Yu-Gi-Oh! 3D Bonds Beyond Time. 2 copies of this card appear in Paradox's explanation when he tells Yugi, Jaden, and Yusei that the reason why he came to the past was so that he could prevent his own bad future from happening. Yugi, Jaden, and Yusei disagreed with going along with Paradox's plan, as Paradox's actions will destroy and ruin their eras in time, since they revolved around dual monsters. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. This card can be seen when Yugimoto reconstructs his deck at the Kame game. Scripted Duels. In the non-canon Duel World Championship 2013 special, Mai vs. Yugi, Yugi activates this card to destroy Mai's mirror wall. Video games. Jaden Yuki, Cyrus Truesdale, Chumley Huffington, Alexis Rhodes, Chaz Princeton, Bastian Misawa, Zane Truesdale, Violin Crowler, Lyman Banner, Atticus Rhodes, Camula, Tanya, Don Zalug, Abydos III, Titan, Amnael, Kagamaru, Jasmine, Mindy, Blair Flanagan, Para, Dox, Dark Magician Girl, Jinzo, Sadie, Slade Princeton, Jagger Princeton, The Gambler, Yasmin, Night Shroud, Wade, George, Hose, Dean, Leoside, Yan, Fady, Craig, Pippin, Darren, Enzo, Swin, Deloge, Viga, Rune, Marcel, Pablo, Matthew, Corey, Simon, Rock, Dante, Truly, Brown, Sedina, Woody, Hyde, Jamie, Seun, Anka, Ri, Maki, Disa, Masha, Jules, Andrea, Lily, Yumi, Inoso, Emperor, Umi, Uma, Mokuma, Senjome, and Cyronos use this card. In Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force, Anna, Course, Delta, Figaro, Mari, Mahavelo, and Underworld Guardian Moly used this card in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World Championship 2009. Stardust Accelerator. Figaro uses this card in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World Championship 2010 Reverse of Arcadia. Course, Machina Force, Malcolm, Masked Hero Vapor, Nelson, Virgil, and Figaro use this card in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World Championship 2011. Over the Nexus.